Hi everybody, Lori here. Thank you so much for joining me today. I've got a simple lemony project to share with you using the stamp set that came in the July card kit with Simon's Stamp. It's called You Shine, and it's got a great little, just a single lemon there that I kind of fell in love with. There's a lot of other great images in the stamp set, but today I'm going to feature the lemons, and I'm going to do a little masking, little creating of my own stencil, little ink blending. So first I'm stamping that single lemon with some Simon's Stamp Intense Black ink onto a panel of white cardstock. I'm actually using Hammermill, but Nina Solar White, whatever is your favorite kind of white ink to use. And then I pulled out some Simon's Stamp masking paper, and I'm going to stamp that lemon again a couple times to create a mask. And so I trimmed down this little piece of masking paper. I'm going to stamp this lemon image twice to create two separate lemon masks. This way I can overlap the lemons on the card base, keeping it a one-layer wonder. And I'm not using any coordinating dies. This is like, you know, a lot of people don't want to spend money on dies. This is a great way. It takes a little extra effort, but you can layer up your images without using dies. You do have to do some fussy cutting. Kicking it old school with the old fussy cutting. So there you have the two lemons. I'm just going to quickly trim apart these two images, and then I sped this up. I didn't show all of it because I cut like a turtle. Very, very slow. I take my time going around that lemon and going around those leaves. It doesn't have to be perfect, but you do want to try to be as close as possible. Okay, so now I'm going to show you how I use this lemon mask. I put the pre-stamped panel back in my MISTI, and then I'm going to peel off that backing paper of the mask. Usually I have a hard time getting that mask, that, what do you call it, a release paper off the back, but this one came off pretty easy peasy, lemon squeezy. See what I did there? Okay, now here I can overlap my second lemon, and it's not going to show with the mask. Okay, I'm going to stamp it again with that Intense Black ink. And I kind of cock this one to the right, making a little bit of a composition here. And then I'm going to go ahead and trim out that second stamped lemon that was on that masking paper. And I'm going to mask off the second lemon. So the reason I masked off both lemons, because I'm going to do just a little bit of subtle ink blending on the background. And I want it to look like it's behind the lemons. I pulled out some SEAFOAM ink, which is a very, very light aqua. These are Pawsitively saturated inks. I'm using the Simon's Stamp blender brushes. I also have my trusty ink stand there to hold my ink pad. But you know, one thing, if you wanted to step this up a notch, after you blended with a little bit of SEAFOAM, lay down a stencil like a polka dot or a stripe. You could go tone on tone, and you could add a bit of pattern to your background. I didn't think of that until just now, but that would have been cool. Okay, mine is going to be very, very subtle and simple. So I carefully remove the mask, and then now I'm going again, stamping that lemon on some scrap white cardstock. And this one's going to become a stencil. Okay, so I stamped it with that SEAFOAM ink, just really, really light. I just grabbed the ink because it was handy right there. And now I'm going to be careful to just, I only made one slit into so I could get to the lemon, and I'm only cutting out the lemon part. So I'm going around the leaves. It's actually really easy to cut just that lemon shape. I'm going to use a little bit of Easy C or Post-it tape to hold that slit shut. So now what I've created is my own custom lemon stencil. Would have been cool, you know. Now I feel like, now that all the companies are coming out with coordinating stencils to color in their images, I'm spoiled. So now for every big image, I wish I had a coordinating stencil. But here's a way that you can easily create your own. And of course, I know that you could color in these lemons with Copics or watercolor, but my favorite medium is ink blending. I just love how seamless and dreamy, and for me, effortless it is. And I used a mixture of lemonade and sunshine, a little bit of citrine, the 3 yellow trio inks in the Pawsitively saturated collection. So I used all 3 of those yellows to kind of build up a bit of a gradient shadow on the lemon, making it very luscious. I do love lemons. I have a big lemon painting in my living room that I actually painted, gosh, 25 years ago. Love lemons. Always thought about getting a lemon tree, but I don't exactly have a green thumb. But I do like the look of lemons. I think they're fresh and classic. Anywho, so I created another little mass stencil only for the leaves. So now I laid that over and I'm blending a mixture of celery and perfection on the leaves. So a little bit of gradient green going on there. And I have to rotate this here and there to get all the different leaves. And I also pull out those previous little masks that I cut off to make these leaves look like they're behind. It's a little bit scientific. It's a little bit time consuming, but I feel like the end result is so seamless and dreamy and soft. I mean, look at it. Now what's left is that little bit of stem. So I was going to just pull out some Copics that I could find that kind of matched well enough and just kind of color in that stem. I kind of feel like the stem of the lemon might start to get brown, like green into brown. I didn't Google it, but I'm guessing, right? Because it'd be hanging on the tree. Anywho, so I took a trio here of the 3 different kind of green fading it into brown. It's very little bit that's going to show. You're probably not even going to notice it. And I couldn't trim a mask skinny enough to ink blend that portion. So Copic was the easiest solution. Now for a sentiment, keeping it very, very simple, I'm stamping that hello from that same You Shine stamp set. Now the July card kit with Simon Says Stamp has all these other coordinating products. There's some pattern paper with lemons, and all of it kind of goes together. But today I just featured that stamp set. I added a few raindrops for embellishment, and this card is finished. It's very clean, very simple. I love the pop of the lemons, kind of a graphic, bold look. I hope you enjoyed this video. Maybe it inspires you to do a little masking and create your own stencils. Thank you so much for joining me. Have a wonderful day, and I will see you next time.